What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Adi. We're back with another episode of the Association After Hours. I have Mr. Light the Beam with me, Mr. Viggy in the building, dialing in from the East Coast. Man, dude, we had some really exciting games yesterday. We have some really exciting games that just finished. We got some games that are coming down the wire now, and man, we got to dive into it for sure. But before we do that, I really want to focus on, before today's games, I want to focus on what happened yesterday, man, because the Nuggets-Wolves game was box office. I know we covered, like, the Knicks-Hawks game already. Like, CJ McCollum did his thing. Knicks got to get their stuff together. But the Nuggets-Wolves, man, that was, like, I didn't get a chance to watch most of it, but I saw the last 8 minutes, and, man, it was everything that we hoped. Like, I told you, like, in this series, like, I really thought that this was the one that was going to go down the wire. Because, again, like, you know, in the regular season, man, a lot of funky stuff happens and, you know, injuries happen. So, like, the Wolves aren't really like a 6th seed, right? It's just the West is so stacked that someone gotta do it, right? So, that's really more why it happens. So, yeah. I guess what's your thoughts from what you saw?
One of the things that we touched on from game one was the fact that it's really going to be hard for the Wolves to do well if Ant is not 100%. But Ant looked like Ant last night. And I think it's a different game. One of the things I had said before when we were talking about game one was I wasn't too worried from like the aspect of Wolves losing game one, in the sense that, like, for the road team, like, game one is always like a freebie where you get to explore kind of what the game is going to look like, what the pace is going to look like, and so forth, and find a rhythm. And then you really just try to like steal game two. That's kind of like, you know, how you approach it as a road team. But the X factor was, I mean, regardless, if Ant is not healthy, none of that matters. So I was very curious to see kind of how he comes out and plays. And it looked like, you know, maybe this game will go down the way that game one kind of went down, because Timberwolves were in game one too. It's just, you know, didn't pan out their way. But this game, man, like you said, it was box office. Anthony Edwards looked good. Randall did what he needed to do. Like, it felt like the Wolves just were up to the challenge last night. And it reminded me of, like, you know, last year when
Absolutely.
we saw them make that run. So I mean, it looks like this series is going to be the most entertaining one. Like, I guess some other series got more entertaining, but this is going to be a good matchup, man. I'm excited. If all the games end up being like this, it's going to be a great series.
For sure, it is. And I think for me, the unsung hero was Mr. Dante DiVincenzo. I think he's always been a hooper, right? He's been a gamer back to his Villanova days, right? And I think the difference last night versus game one, like that last 8-minute stretch, right? Because that fourth quarter is anyone's game. The others stepped up,
yes,
right? Because it seems to be a lot more of an effort situation where there was a lot of these 50-50 balls that the Nuggets just were not. They were getting them the entire game, right? And the Wolves just reeled it in, and then they ultimately were able to get timely stops where, you know, they were able to suffocate Murray and Joker to where there was really no one else was creating. I was surprised to see that Denver, you know, abandoned Aaron Gordon. They didn't really loop in like the other actions. It's like they look like the Wolves. Versus the Wolves, they really didn't settle for bad shots. Like, you saw Ant go after the good shots, like getting the basket, and even like Gobert, for example. We gotta give him his flowers because I know Gobert gets slammed a lot for, you know, his lack of production, but he really did a great job on Joker 101. I mean, like, Joker, you're not gonna stop Joker by himself, but as good of a job one-on-one, and the help defense was phenomenal. And the reason why I said game two was a must-win for the Wolves is it just puts the pressure back on Denver, right? Because when you go down 2-0 in a series, you're like, your back's against the wall. Like, you're playing more tighter in a game three, where it's like, if you're tied up, like, you're loose because you feel like it's on them, where they are the ones who have to respond and go from there. So, yeah, I really enjoyed seeing that game, and obviously played like a top 5 player, like a franchise player, like I expected him to, and they made the right plays. So I think the pressure goes back to the Nuggets and seeing how things go from there. And then the next one, the next game that we just saw happen was the Spurs and Blazers game. And, you know, first of all, I hope that Wemby gets well. He had like an unexpected, I believe it was concussion. It looked really bad. The Blazers still won too. So we have a lot more excitement in these playoffs versus, I didn't expect that to happen. I think that's just the Spurs, being a young team, not knowing how to close out a team when you have momentum, right? And it looked like from what I saw on Twitter and such that the Spurs just tightened up and they didn't really play team ball on that. So. Cool, man. You saved me. I was in my little soliloquy. We were talking about I was talking about the Spurs, Blazers, and I didn't really watch the game. Yes, but back to the Nuggets, man.
Yes.
I think the difference, there's three things. I think Dante DiVincenzo played well. Like, he had some timely baskets. I think the other was with Rudy Gobert. I know he gets flamed a lot, and I flame him all the time, too, because, he for $200 million, like, my dude doesn't really do much. But he did as good of a job on Joker as you could.
He did.
In that fourth quarter. Right?
He did.
Where, like, with Joker, you're not going to beat him, right? Like, you just have to, like, make his life as hard as possible. And so they did that. And then I think, too, they settled for good shots. Like, there was a couple times in game one, I don't know if it was because of his injury, he was settling for the three. Like, you saw, he was playing bully ball. Like, he knows, like, look, this is what I can do. I can shoot it, but I can get to the basket. And then, obviously, McDaniel's doing his thing, like, pressuring Murray. What was key there. So I think we got ourselves a toss-em. Honestly, I think whoever wins game 3 will probably win the series. And so, yeah, it's back to Denver, man. I was surprised that the Nuggets played like the Wolves in terms of their shot selection. Like, I get you trying to go for a 2, but like the last possession where Murray kind of killed some time.
Yes.
And he goes settles for a contested 2 made no sense because Gordon just made a 3. Right? So again, obviously I'm not an all-NBA player, so I'm not going to question the decision making, but like, I just feel like sometimes star players, like, they don't read the room. Like, I think even going back to when Phil Jackson challenged like MJ to pass it to John Paxson because he was hot, right? If I know my boy just hit a 3, right, then we should go maybe try with him, right? It just wasn't like there was no like fluidity with their offense. Like, the only time it was either like outside of that pass for the 3. And Braun, I think he got like a dunk because he drove. Like, there was like no like cohesiveness on offense in that fourth quarter. And I think that's part of it is, the other guys, like Gordon normally cuts a lot and he gets some easier lobs. I don't know what happened, but like to me it just looked like they maybe were fatigued, but there was just chaos. And I think that's what gave Minnesota the chance to, win those 50-50 balls and also to like get the fast break points, like, because they're great in transition. So that's what I saw in terms of like why the Wolves won.
Earlier on also you touched on something. Right?
Earlier on also you touched on something, right? You touched on Dante DiVincenzo, you touched on like, the other guys coming through.
I was thinking about it.
And like, and they wouldn't have won this without those two guys, right? Randall and Dante. So on the flip side, you're looking at the Knicks, and they just lost game 2 where they should have won. That trade is looking a little bit better for the Wolves right now. I'm excited about Dante. Dante was really good.
He's always been a hard player.
He's always been a good player. He's always been a hard player, a scrappy player. And so I think this is going to be a great series for him.
Have a game plan in the end.
This is what is okay towards the end. These are the guys who are going to take a shot. This is what the play is going to look like. Or we're going to this type of play. Because even Jamal Murray play, it didn't look like the rest of the team knew what he was going to do. They kind of looked lost as well. And then he just kind of like made something up.
I think that's on the coach.
That's something I think. I mean, that's on the coach. I think that's on the coach. I think that's on the coach to call it out. I think the inexperience here showed out. If this was Mike Malone, I think it goes a little bit different.
Right. I will say though, and it was crazy to me. I think this goes back to JJ. Shout out JJ. He's doing this thing with LA, but against the Wolves game 4, he played all the starters 40 or 24 minutes in the second half. And similarly, I heard, and I think the announcer called it that Murray only sat 13 seconds in the fourth quarter.
That's insane.
So I think the problem with that, right, is if you watch them, like, very rarely, I don't ever see anyone else bring the ball up. So he's your primary ball handler. He has to run the offense and, like, set the offense, right? Like, he has to get it to half court. Like, Joker obviously takes it over once it's on their side, but that takes a toll. And McDaniels is an elite defender, so he's going to wear him down. So I was just surprised to see, like, there was no switch up of that, right? It's the same thing with the Knicks, too, when, like, you see Brunson bring it up every time. I'm like, dude, like just literally like Cat or someone else bring it up. So I'm not sure. I think maybe again too like these coaches, they don't like to reveal all their tricks early in the series. Like so maybe it's I think obviously they're gonna pull some stops that they didn't before, but last year with the Knicks and the Wolves trade, because they both made the conference finals and lost, it was like kind of a scrap. But I think this year we'll see like potentially like who won the trade long term. Because Randall did play well, and
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so
it'll be.
I think whoever wins game 3 wins that series for sure.
Especially if it's the Wolves.
I agree. Especially if it's the Wolves. I think they get that little momentum.
He had a great playoff run last year.
He had a great playoff run last year, and he looked like he's going to. He looked in the same form last night. If they give Ant an opportunity here in Game 3 to like do the same thing and get a win, I don't think Nuggets are coming back on this one. I think after that it becomes 4 games where the Wolves just have to win 2, and I think they pull it off.
Obviously, if the Nuggets win, they get home court advantage back.
Obviously, if the Nuggets win, they get home court advantage back. So
I agree. Game 3
in their favor. So I agree. Game 3, I think, is a pivotal game here in that series.
I'm sure Joker obviously is going to play better too. I think they just need to involve the others a little bit more.
In the sense that I think, they're going to pressure Joker a lot.
I think they're going to pressure Joker a lot. The Wolves. I think they have a little bit of size. Obviously Joker, you can never completely stop him. But even if they do the frustrating things that they did in this second game, Game 2, they could really annoy or disrupt the Nuggets offense, especially if outside of Joker, nobody else really knows what their role is and how to execute down the stretch. It's going to be a problem. And one thing that stood out to me was the coaching. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this team looks in the playoffs. Last time they won the title, it was Mike Malone at the helm. So it is a little bit of a different squad from that standpoint, from a strategy standpoint. So we'll see what they do. Again, like you said, they might have held a few things back, and they might be, coming out with a different strategy in Game 3 or make some adjustments. And that's what makes the playoffs amazing, right? From game to game, there's so many adjustments. So we'll see what the Nuggets come back with.
Yeah, I guess my question to you is, it looked like, right, again, Gordon's a great player. Cam Johnson's a solid role player in this league. For all the criticism, Porter Jr. is a hooper, right? And even though, I don't know what it is against the Nuggets versus Lakers, but they shoot 90% from 3 every time, right? And so, I don't know, maybe it's just because it was a fit issue, but, it felt like they were missing that third creator, that next year, right? Because you already know what Joker and Murray are going to do. Mm-hmm. They're always, you can book it, they're going to give you 50 to 60 every night. Or even 70, depending on the playoffs, right? But that other person who comes along and doesn't rely on either of them to get offense is their Achilles heel, right? And so while they may be optimized for continuity with the Cam Johnson trade, in moments like this when the game gets tight a little bit, where you just need a bucket, you needed someone like Porter Jr. because he can get his own shot whenever. And so I don't know, maybe he comes back to back.
Right?
And to that exact point, right? Unless you have something else to add to the Wolves Nuggets game, I want to touch on one of the games that happened today because it's a similar issue that I saw in today's game. So the Spurs Blazers, Wemby goes out, gets a concussion, and the Spurs had to adapt. They have played games without Wemby.
Can you
hear me?
Okay. So they have played
for team and his welcome to the playoffs moment. Obviously, the player of the game for the Blazers, but having a guy like Holiday came through for the Blazers, and the Spurs, when they had the ball, De'Aaron Fox, who typically takes over in these type of moments, that's a 1-1 series, which I did not expect. Obviously, Wemby going out is a big deal. We got to see what that injured. We might see the Blazers in the second round.
That's crazy. Well, hey, that means I'm not going to rule them out, but maybe that the depth bracket on the other side might be a little easier for whoever wins that Nuggets Wolves series. Hopefully they're all healthy, but yeah, I think maybe the counterpoint I could propose there is you never want to throw a game away.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they view it in the grand scheme of chess, where it's like, if I don't loop these guys in now to like get reps of like, you know, like this game these last minute situations where like it's different, it's different clutch moments in Memphis game 65, right, when you're up a regular season game versus game 2 at home. Like they just need that at bat. So maybe, I don't know if he felt like he had to loop them in so like he can have them later in the run, or maybe he just wasn't feeling it. Because I think he hurt his knee a little bit, because I remember seeing a play where I think he he just butted his knee.
True.
With someone else. I don't know if he was maybe fully.
True.
I might have so maybe that's why he deferred. So that could be it. But yeah, I mean, I think the challenge there is like, even this is how the Rockets were too, right? It's like when, and even like the Lakers had to figure out, it's like when your top player is out, like you need a system, right? And I think it was just like, yeah, even though like they were winning, like for whatever reason, I didn't feel like they were going to pull away enough to call it a game, right? Because it was a close first half, and they just couldn't get the separation, right? And I think that seems to be like the blueprint for, you know, folks, where it's like, hey, just keep it close, and you know, hey, if things tighten up, you miss a shot or here, you could steal a game. So I think that's what they did. Yeah. So we have a series now. I mean, when Wemby doesn't play, Barnes doesn't play, they might be down 2-1. Now you're really going to feel the game.
But if that's how the situation starts off in game 3, and we start off with the fact that, okay, maybe Wemby's not back from his concussion yet, which is a high likelihood, then Fox comes in a different mentality. So then, like, you know, if he plays his usual aggressive attacking style, we've seen this guy a couple of years ago in the playoffs go for 40 points. So maybe it could just be like a one-off incident where they just didn't adjust for this game, but they could very well go win the next 3, even without Wemby, right? So we'll have to wait and see.
Right. That's where there's the balance of the overreaction versus like you pose the question of like what can happen there. So I do think like, yeah, the Spurs will figure it out, but it is nice to have some excitement in this series because we thought these games were just dead in the water. So like it's cool. We get another game out of it. I'm not mad at it, so that's cool. I guess the other surprise from today, I didn't watch it. I guess folks, the process isn't fully dead. You can't write them off yet. I really was shocked when I saw the score. I thought ESPN got hacked. Like after that massacre on Sunday for the Sixers to win, something had to go wrong. And my hunch is, I didn't watch the game, but Boston, some of the Warriors, they live and die by the 3. So you know, I'm gonna take a look at the box score while you talk about it. Though.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, like the one thing.
The one thing I had to say is Tyrese Maxey.
I don't think anyone counted.
It's not like we counted them out. I don't think anyone counted them out. I think it was more of like, okay, what can one man do against a machine like the Boston Celtics? I think that's more the narrative. But Tyrese Maxey came out today and like he showed the world like what he can do. That somewhat was expected, right? You're expecting Tyrese Maxey to come out and have it.
Like you said, the process.
But hey, like you said, the process. Well, they drafted this guy named VJ Edgecombe, and he had a phenomenal game. And it was like, okay, no Embiid, we don't need Embiid. He should, and like, so yeah, it's early.
I saw,
but and like playoff P had decent enough of a game where like a third option tonight. So
I was thinking a sweep, gentleman's sweep.
No, I was thinking a sweep, gentleman's sweep. It could still be a gentleman's sweep, but man, I mean, like, okay, Tyrese Maxey heard the disrespect and Edgecombe said, hey, like, no Embiid, no problem, and showed up. And then the last like 3-4 minutes, like the Sixers kept on pulling away, and I was just like, okay, like this is happening. The Sixers are stealing one in Boston tonight, and that was great to watch from a neutral fan point. It was a great game to watch, and I'm excited for that series. Let's see. I mean, I'm sure Jason Tatum is not going to miss 6 out of 8 3-pointers again. He's probably going to dust that number up a little bit, but at least now we know we can be excited for game 3.
Exactly, and I mean, my hunch. I mean, yeah, I had a feeling. I just looked at the team stats. The Sixers shot almost 50% from 3. 19 for 39. The Celtics shot 13 of 50, so 26%.
Yeah.
So there's your ball game right there. And hey, playoff P looked half decent. He still got a little bit in them legs. I'm happy for him, So that's cool.
I mean,
Obviously,
hit a couple of clutch threes.
like Kelly Oubre hit a couple of clutch threes in the end, or at least one where it was a backbreaking three. And so when you have two guys who go out and produce so many points, all you need the rest of those guys to do is hit a basket here, hit a 3-pointer there, get a steal here, get a block shot there, and all of a sudden, everyone's feeling the momentum shift to their side. I felt like Drummond came off the bench, and in the short minutes that he did play, he was good, he was solid. The Sixers, small rotation, they ended up having a pretty decent game. Now, can they do that for 3 more games and win 4 in the series? I still have my doubts. I still think the Celtics are going to pull this off, but it's not going to be we thought it might be boring after the way game 1 went, but it might be an interesting series. This could be, a 6-7 game series if Maxey and Edgecombe can go out there and score 50 combined points every single game. 59 tonight. If they score 50, let's think they can win a game. Our series.
I think they'll go 6. I think they'll split at home. I think Boston will probably have a blow-up similar to Game 1 and Game 5, I think, and then Game 6 will be like a closeout, gutsy game. That's probably the way I see this game going by. Who knows? Maybe they bought themselves some time. If the big fella can come back, now Boston really might have a problem. Because, even 50% Embiid, Embiid just standing out there, his presence is felt.
For sure.
I don't think we forgot. To your earlier point, no one forgot about Maxey. We always, he's established himself as an all-NBA performer. I just think we just viewed it as, this is just, such a mismatch given the inconsistency of PG. PJ Edgecombe's first playoffs. There's no Embiid. He's, not really going in with his full game, right? So we don't get to see them really tee up. Because, dude, Philly's always been a rivalry, right? So, that's one of the best rivalries in the league. So we would have, especially, I think the last time they played, it went 7, I think, with Harden. I remember, I think with Harden. So, they've played multiple times. So we obviously like seeing competition. So it sucks to not see it.
So, that's become...
No, for sure. So, that's become a series now, too. So it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. As we talk about this, rode the Lakers. I don't think we wrote them off, but we're okay, without Luka, without Reeves, what are they going to do? But for a second game in a row, they're making it a battle, and LeBron James still has a message to send. Now I'm checking the score right now. It's become a little bit closer. For a bit there, the Lakers were up 15. So maybe
that's going to be a problem.
We'll see. I think Game 2 is a must. Game 2 is a must win for the Lakers.
Yes.
Versus the Rockets. I think if the Rockets win tonight, the Lakers are in trouble. Because going back, I give them a good chance to go up 3-1. Because in their home turf, the role players will play better, right? They'll have, it's just better. So the Lakers really just have to close this one out at home. So at least go 6. But
the Lakers have to win today.
Or else it's over. The Lakers have to win today, or else it's over. Even though they don't win, I don't know how many games we're going to see Luke Kennard go for 25 plus points, but
we'll see how tonight goes.
They'll probably have a better idea of Luka's health, and so that'll be interesting.
Here's the concern. I'm looking at the box score right now. So one, KD looks like he didn't skip a beat. He's literally shooting 85% from the field. So he's 6 of 7. The Rockets are shooting 5 of 17 from 3 right now. So they can't buy a bucket. The Lakers are on fire. They're literally shooting 10 of 19 from 3, and they're up 1, and they're up 4. And if I really knocked you off your feet and told you Marcus Smart is leading the Lakers in scoring and is shooting 4 of 6 from 3, you would think they're winning by 15. But the fact that it's a 4-point game tells you the talent discrepancy is there still. I am surprised that Sengun has not gotten activated more. And that just will never make sense to me. I am curious from your perspective, though. Again, I think it's great to see the father-son dynamic, but I don't know why JJ is not playing vets like Maxi Kleber. More running, because I think he can space the floor a little bit. And even Dalton Connect, man. I know, like, if you look at the Lakers, like, he kind of fell off the rotation, but he's a hooper, dude. Like, he can slash, he can get his basket, he can shoot. He's a scorer. I don't know why he can't give him a couple minutes. It doesn't make any sense, right? When your gap is offense, why would you not, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Bronny, it's a great story. Like, I know you're trying to keep your pops happy, or keep his pops happy, but, like, dude, we're trying to win the game. Like, I just don't see how Bronny helps them win a playoff.
No, I mean, I agree in the sense that, like...
No, I mean, I agree in the sense that, like, I just have to, I don't know, like, I would just have to market to maybe Connect and Kleber aren't good fits with LeBron in the past. Maybe there are players that just fit better with Luka Doncic running the ball or, like, being ball dominant. That's the only thing I can think of. Apart from that, like, I mean, to your point, like, either of them are better than Bronny. That's for a fact. So, if you're trying to actually win games, this is not the time to keep Pops happy, as you said. So they're going to have to make some adjustments there. Like, I mean, like, yeah, Connect can hit some shots. Even if he's falling out of rotation, like, sometimes, like, you have these playoff series where you inject this one guy who comes in, might not have been a regular in rotation, but then he can come in and, like, have a good game and really alter the trajectory of the playoff. Maybe it's just like, okay, we're still up, we're still leading, we're still in this game. If things start going south, maybe we see Connect or Cleaver come in. But I think as long as the Lakers stay up, we might just see them stick with what's working right now.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the last play of the game right now. KD has the ball. Let's see. Oh, wow. Man, they just... If there was a team, if I told you that just beats themselves more than the competition, it's the Houston Rockets, man. I just don't understand it sometimes. But yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be a good game. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I'm obviously biased. I would love to see the Lakers win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets pull this one out. Just because I think they figured it out in terms of, I think having their best player back, like, obviously, is a confidence boost. I haven't watched enough of the game, but I'm sure they've made some adjustments, or Luke Kennard is not going to beat them again. He'll be an effective player, but I just don't think they're going to allow him to go crazy. So we'll see. And I obviously think the offensive rebound discrepancy is back in effect. So I don't know. I mean, if you're JD, do you do a prayer? Like, is there something tactical you think they can do to where they don't get beat on the glass, or is that just a personal discrepancy where, like, they're just Houston's more athletic, so you account for that. You account for losing that every game.
But it's just about
effort going after that board
every single play, just anticipating that it's going to be a miss and just going for it instead of, like, kind of ball watching versus actually being aggressive.
I know you're biased, and so you're rooting.
And, like, I know you're biased, and so you're rooting for the Lakers. I'm actually, like, a Laker hater, as people would call me. But then I'm actually rooting for the Lakers.
I would like to see, like, the KD.
I would like to see, like, the KD LeBron matchup for as many games as possible in the series.
We had this conversation the other day too.
We had this conversation the other day too, where, like, we're talking about what LeBron's going to do next, what's the future going to look like, and so forth. One thing that this series has shown us is that he can go be like a power forward on most teams in today's league, and just play the power forward role and, like, kill it. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see, like, maybe for, like, to just stay for a season or more, LeBron might retool and not retool, but then, like, kind of take a second look at how he's going to go out there and play and the playing style, and maybe just play power forward, because, like, he looks like a good power forward right now.
Yeah. Honestly, he could play on 3-4 more if he wants. I just think it's more just like, what does he want to do?
He doesn't have to be a playmaker.
He doesn't have to be a playmaker.
He does moments, but shoot, if you clock it right, but if your kid's your coworker and he has enough juice to get Bryce in the league too, then I mean, hey, maybe that's honestly a better way to catch up. Hey man, you can get Bryce in on that. I don't know about Zuri. I think Zuri is doing her thing, but my point is, like, he just might be tapped out, right? But I do think, knowing LeBron again, he controls the narrative. I think if he's gonna go till 25 years. I think it's a better ring to his legacy. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him doing like a 1-on-1. It depends on where. So we'll see. To your point, this series has a ton of implications. I personally obviously would love to see this one go the distance, like 6-7 games. Because I think Katie and Braun is always box office. I don't know when we're gonna see this one next. It sucks that they both have to duke it out to get to the next round. I would have loved to rather see the Rockets, the Wolves duke it out where they're on the opposite sides, but that's just how it goes. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a good game. Either way, I do think Lakers. If you're watching this, you're not gonna watch this, but hey, lock in, get that win. But moving on to tomorrow's games, man. Before we wrap up, we got the Pistons Magic game 2, and the Suns Thunder. Hey, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's something in the air. Maybe it's underdog season this week. Where do you think the Suns can trump up OKC's momentum and steal a game? And we've seen it a couple times now. Actually, I think of all the game 2s outside of the Cavs Raptors, I think every other series is tied up.
You might be right because Portland tied
it up. You might be right because Portland tied it up. Philly tied it up.
That's crazy, yeah.
That's interesting.
Everyone else is tied up.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
That is very weird.
So, do you think the Suns join that or not?
Like, does Book have like a 50, 60 point performance?
Does Book have like a?
I mean, here's the thing, right?
Here's the thing, right?
Like to see that happen just because.
I would like to see that happen just because I don't want like a lame series where Thunder just dominate and sit and wait for next thing. I want it to be a little bit more competitive, so I would like to see that happen. I don't think like the Thunder are as invincible as some of these people say they are. I mean, they almost lost to the Pacers last year in the finals. Okay, so it's not that they're invincible. I mean, like I remember when they got off to that insane start where they were they lost 2 games in the first 25 games or whatnot. People were like, oh, can they go and get the record? And then they just kept on losing after that. So I don't think they're invincible, but I don't know if the Suns are the team that is going to give them that trouble. I still think it's more likely to be a sweep than Suns even winning 1 game. But again, we've been wrong. We did not expect some of these results to go the way they've gone. We did not expect some of these results to go the way they've gone. We didn't expect to. I mean, I didn't think the Blazers were going to steal one in San Antonio.
We never know.
That was a shocker. So we never know. Never say never.
But the other series, yeah.
But
exactly.
the other,
I pose that to pose it, but I do think the Thunder it'll probably be a closer game. I don't think it's going to be a 50-point game or whatever it was. I could see the Thunder having a bad shooting night. Hey, it's always just unsung heroes that get hot. I mean, Dylan Brooks, Dylan Brooks can muck it up, just enough to get under someone's skin, hey. So, it's not over yet, but I think they win. I think the Thunder win tomorrow. Pistons versus Magic. I think the Pistons will grind it out, but the Magic are still in a really good spot, going back home 1-1. Because I think if they can, the Pistons have been down 3-1 before, but I think given the matchup wise too, and the length that it could get ugly. I think obviously the Pistons got to win tomorrow first, but I think they have to win the next 2 games to keep their mojo. Cause I don't know how they respond down 2-1 on the road. I don't think they haven't been there yet, right? Being down 2 on the road is a lot different than being down
for sure. And again.
No, for sure. And again, if Wendell Carter's going to get all those open 3-point looks and he's going to play the way he's going to play.
There's something that I saw on Instagram which could
there's something that I saw on Instagram which could also be playing a factor. So
I guess Wendell Carter.
I guess Wendell Carter is dating Angel Reese, and Angel Reese X is on the Pistons.
I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Duran.
And so I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Duran, or
side note.
Somebody else, but that's a little. So maybe Wendell Carter is hyped up about that, man. But if you're gonna give him open looks the way you gave him, he's gonna be knocking those shots down, it's gonna be trouble. I think Desmond Bane is built to play physical. I think he's gonna come up with some big games. Paulo Banchero is Paulo Banchero. The Magic are a good team. The Magic are not an 8 team because I honestly do believe that the Celtics lucked out too. Because obviously the Sixers, no disrespect, Celtics. Sixers.
pulling the
So I
Magic.
like our team in the Eastern Conference, my opinion.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think they can grind it out. I mean, Cade's still the best player in the series, right? Like, so usually the best player can figure out something unless it's stacked like the Super Team Warriors. So it'll be like a 6-7 game series. So I'm curious to see how the Pistons respond. Because one thing, last year they stole game 2 against the Knicks. You're underdogs, but you're not sneaking up anyone now, right? You're the number 1 seed. Cade probably, is a runner-up for MVP if he doesn't have the lung collapse. So people expect you to be good now. So it's important to see how they rise up. I'm surprised, I think, I don't know what's going on with Malik Beasley. Do you know why he's not playing? I know he was suspended with some betting stuff, but I don't know if that's still affecting because he was the problem for the Knicks last year.
I don't know what's happening with Beasley. I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know what's happening with Beasley. I don't know what the story is with him. I was following like the whole Pistons story for a while. Towards the end, there's so many other storylines that popped up. So not quite sure what's going on with Beasley.
Okay, yeah. So, okay. I just read something. So, he's still being investigated for I think betting. So he couldn't really play for the league anymore for the time being. So he's playing overseas right now. That makes sense. I mean, you need more from Duncan Robinson, Tobias Harris. At one point in time, you were good enough to get chosen over Jimmy Butler for getting re-signed. So, maybe muster up some of that. And then I think Duran said, too, he's going to be more aggressive. So I think that's probably... But I think if those 3 to 4 folks play a little bit better, I'm assuming Detroit's going to muck it up as well, with either
I think it comes down to...
I think it comes down to... I think a key factor for the Magic is going to be Suggs. If he can have a good game or even a decent game, I think, it makes the Magic a whole lot more dangerous and a very difficult team to play against.
He's kind of been like the liability on the point guard position.
But he's kind of been like the liability on the point guard position. The guard positions have always been a liability for the Magic in the last 3-4 seasons. So if Suggs can have a decent game and he can stay in front of, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I watched the game, a good portion of it. Who was guarding Cade? Was it Suggs or was it Desmond Bain? Might have been Bain.
I feel like it was Suggs. I didn't watch the game. Really?
I mean, I
can see it.
It's going to be interesting.
I don't know.
I'm finding it hard to
give Pistons the benefit of the doubt.
Give Pistons the benefit of the doubt in this one.
My gut says,
if it comes down to a physical, grinding game, I think that's the way the Magic like it. The Magic don't like a fast-paced, threes type of a game style. They like to get in there, in a half possession, use a low post, move the ball around. So if it ends up being that type of a series, I am tipping my favor to the Magic in that scenario. So we'll see. I think it's got more of a tougher series out of all the series to kind of predict. But
I think the only series that
right now, I think the only series that
easy to pick
is easy to pick is probably the Thunder Suns.
Everything else looks more competitive.
Apart from that, everything else looks more competitive.
I think Cavs Raptors is also kind of a gimme. I
Brandon,
think they're just a little bit. I don't know if Emmanuel quickly comes back. Maybe they get a game, but
Brandon Ingram cannot be playing the way he played last game. That just cannot. That was. I don't know what he was doing. Probably is one of the worst performances I've seen from a star player in a playoff game in my whole lifetime. I've seen performances that are bad for their caliber. This is just bad for any basketball player. So that just cannot happen. Sorry, Raptors fans. Sorry to six, but right now it's not looking good for Toronto.
Right. I agree. I think that one will be a good one to see. Sorry, I was just checking Twitter for the game updates, but I think those other two they're a little bit of ways away from being competitive. But we'll see. You never know, man. We could see tomorrow and see Booker drop 60 points or some crazy combination, and so I think that's everything I had. I guess any closing remarks, anything. I guess fine. Who do you think wins tonight? Rockets, Lakers. You had to pick.
If I had to pick,
well, fact check this out.
If I had to pick, if I had to pick, I am taking
Rockets at this
I'm
moment
taking the
because, like,
Rockets at this
the
moment
fact that it
because,
was a
like,
49-34
the
game, the
fact that it was
Rockets
a
actually made
49-34
a
point
lot of
game,
field
like a
goals at one
49-34
point.
game, and
The
like,
edge that the
now it's
Lakers had, they've given
54-51.
up.
The
So the
edge
Rockets
that
are
the
going to feel
Lakers
really
had,
good
they've
going
given
in. I
up.
mean, like, they would have
So the
felt really
Rockets
good
are going to
going
feel
into the
really
locker
good
room
going in. I
in
mean,
the
like,
half.
they would have
So
felt
they're
really
going
good
to
going
come
into the
out.
locker room
They're going to say,
for the
hey, we
half.
went down by
So they're going to
15.
come
Now we're
out.
back in
They're
it.
going to say, hey, we went down by
We're definitely
15. Now
better.
we're back
Let's
in
go
it.
play like it.
We're
So
definitely
I'm
better. Let's
expecting a
go
different
play
type of
like it.
energy from the
So
Rockets. I think
I'm
just from
expecting a
that,
different
they're
type of
going to
energy
pull it
for the
off.
Rockets. I
But
think
hey,
because of that,
if
they
Luke
might pull it
Kennard's going
off.
to knock down
But
threes the way
hey,
he's
I
knocking
mean,
it down,
if
and
Luke
Marcus
Kennard's
Smart
going to
can
knock down threes the way he's knocking it down, and
they're
Marcus
like,
Smart can hit a
just
few a
you
year,
never know. You never know.
they're
And then
like,
again, to your
just
point, if
you never
things
know,
start
you
looking
never
really
know. And
tight,
then
if
again, to
Connect
your
comes
point,
in,
if things start looking a little
knocks
tight,
in,
if
and
Connect
starts
comes
hooping,
in,
then
and knocks
he
in,
might come
like
in and
starts
get like
hooping, then
11
he might
clutch
come and get
points
like
or crucial
11
points.
clutch points,
So you never
or
know,
crucial
but
points. So you
I
never
think this
know,
might be
but
something that
I think this
if
might be
LeBron pulls this
something
off,
that
like hats off, like this
if
guy's still
LeBron pulls
doing
this
it.
off, like, hats off, like this guy's still doing it, you know,
Like from that point of view,
Right.
even though
like
like
from that point of view,
I mean, let
even
me.
though like,
I've always been like a
I mean,
guy who has
I've
said LeBron's
always
gonna do it.
been like a guy who has
I
said
just end up
LeBron's
in
been a
the
great
wrong side of the
player.
conversation all the time
I just
because
end up in the
every
wrong
time we
side
try
of
to
the
have a good
conversation all the
conversation
time
about him,
because
we
every time we
have to
try to
bring
have a
up
good
Michael Jordan,
conversation about
and
him,
it's like,
we have
why?
to bring up
Like,
Michael
let's just talk
Jordan.
about
And it's just
LeBron.
like,
Keep the
why?
conversation about
Like, let's
LeBron.
just
He's a
talk about
great player and so
LeBron,
forth.
keep
But
the
it'll be
conversation about
fun to see
LeBron.
him
He's a
pull
great
this
player
off.
and so forth, but it'll be fun to see him pull this off.
Yeah.
Got
So
got the Jordan hoodie on right now.
if like
Yeah.
LeBron
So,
pulls this off, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to
if
watch. It's
like,
like
LeBron pulls this
you're
off, it'll be fun.
watching
It'll be fun to watch. It's
one of the
like,
greats
you're
in his
watching
final
like,
years, so you don't
one
know
of the
how much
greats,
more you're going to see of
in
this.
his final
So
years.
it'll be
So you
great
don't
to
know how
watch
much
that
more
type
you're
of
going
a
to
game
see of
from him.
this. So it'll be great to watch that type of a game from him.
For sure. I got to go down with the ship that I promote. So I think the Lakers can win tonight. I see them winning tonight. It'll be a close game. I trust. Hardly enough, I trust JJ to make the right coaching calls right now
Mm-hmm.
more than Ime. So let's see. I think with that, man, I think that's everything on this episode of the Association After Hours, and we will be back later this week, and let's see how our predictions look.
All right, guys. Good night, everyone, and let's see how the predictions look, like you said.
Absolutely. Well, that folks, that's us signing off.